Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, everybody. I am very happy to know that Delhi SP chapter has completed 15 years of existence successfully and today is celebrating 15th anniversary. I have been invited to attend this workshop physically, but due to having some problem, I am unable to attend this function physically. But I'll be definitely watching this event through the video link being provided. I remember my days as a chairman of this chapter in 2006, where I had a very vibrant group, and we also organized many such technical talks for the benefit of ENP industry of this country. At this moment, I take this opportunity to congratulate Rahul Bali and his team for successfully organizing this event and wish all the best for success of the event. Thank you very much. Hi.
Okay, Mitra. I was initiator of SP chapter in Delhi 2005-2006. I request Rahul Bali to continue his function. I wish him all the best. This year, after completion of 15 years, we want to celebrate it. Thank you very much for calling me. I am very happy and retired man. Thank you very much.
Everybody, hottest congratulations to the New Delhi chapter of DSP on its 15th anniversary celebrations. This chapter has earned distinction as a platform for exchange of ideas, innovative thoughts, and technical information amongst SP members. Over the years, many industry thought leaders from different parts of the world have come and addressed wonderful technical seminars here, which have benefited the SP members immensely. The current office bearers have carried the torch forward and made wonderful contributions for growth of the chapter. My warmest compliments to them and best wishes for the chapter for its further growth in future. Thank you very much.
Good evening to all of you. I would like to congratulate SP New Delhi section on its 15th anniversary. I hope the legacy of SP New Delhi section will continue to promote the growth of ENP industries in India, and also wish all the best wishes to SP board members of New Delhi section and the members for making this 15th anniversary function successful. Thank you to all.
Hello. Yeah, the guest is on the way. Tarun Kapoor ji to the SP 15th anniversary. He's arrived. Uh, I'll request Rahul Bali ji, chairperson, to escort the guest to the dais. I'll request VP Mahawasa, past chair, to be on the dais. I'll request Ahuja ji, the founder of the section here, to be on the dais.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Shri Tarun Kapoor ji, Secretary Petroleum MOPNG. Shri Mahawar ji, our past chair. Mr. HPS Ahuja, CEO ISPRL, who also happened to be our founder section member. Mr. Sukhvinder Singh Sodhi, Program Chair. The CEOs of companies, leaders, industry leaders, and members. It's my proud privilege to welcome you all to this special meeting of our section, which is 15th anniversary meeting. I would like to share that Mr. Kapoor would not be able to devote to spare much time, so we'll have to make a little bit changes in our program. And may I start the program? We have with us Tom Blessingame, who is SP 2021 International President. He could not come in person, but we'll play his opening remarks. Can we do that, please? Thank you.
I'm a professor of petroleum engineering at Texas A&M University, and I am your 2021 SPE President. It is my pleasure to provide these opening remarks for this 15th anniversary meeting of the SPE New Delhi section. It is one of the few privileges of serving as the SPE President that one is invited to share in the celebration of milestone events such as this. So let's talk about your success. The SPE New Delhi section has achieved the following. The section was established in 2005, but you all know this. The section has been recognized by the SPE's Presidential Award for Section Excellence in both 2006 and 2007. I'm sure you also know this as well. The section has averaged about 270 professional members and 750 student members over the last 10 years. The section has had a 75% member retention rate over the last 10 years. The section professional members come from more than 10 companies, entities, and you probably know this as well. As trivia, the majority of your current members are in the reservoir technical discipline, which selfishly makes me pretty happy because I am also, by DNA, a reservoir engineer. So let's talk about your impact. The SPE New Delhi section has actively supported 3 student chapters at Aligarh Muslim University, established in 2017. Pandit Deendal Petroleum University, established in 2008. I comment this is a very active, very successful student chapter, 70 student members, and about 10 recognition awards. The Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Petroleum Technology, established in 2011. This is another strong student chapter, 200 student members and 2 recognition awards. And you've achieved 8 regional and international SPE member awards. You've also contributed 222 papers to the SPE literature since 2006, and you've contributed almost 300 separate volunteer roles in that time. As an SPE section, you have an inspiring record of commitment and contribution to the SPE. I sincerely thank you for all your labor and devotion to purpose on behalf of our industry. As you celebrate your past successes, I encourage you to commit to an even more successful future. The Indian oil and gas industry will need more of your service, more of your creativity, and more of your innovations in the decades to come. It is my privilege to provide these introductory remarks, and I give you my sincerest best wishes for your 15th anniversary celebration. Have a good meeting.
Yeah, thank you, Tom. That was Tom Blessingame, SP International President. He is a professor and holder of Robert L. Whiting Professorship in the Department of Petroleum Engineering at Texas A&M University. As you all know, Texas A&M is the Mecca for all petroleum engineers. He holds a joint appointment in the Department of Geology and Geophysics at Texas A&M, and he served as Director of SPE International. He has been awarded 8 major awards by SPE, and he has prepared approximately 160 technical papers. And moving forward from this, I would like to share that this section was formed in March 2005, and we'll give a small video, very small video of our section journey and SPE history. Thank you.
Society of Petroleum Engineers International, SPE. Officially founded in 1957, SPE's predecessor organizations date from the birth of the oil industry in the late 1880s. SPE is a not-for-profit professional society whose members are engaged in energy resources development and production. More than 140,600 members in 144 countries participate in 201 sections and 396 student chapters. SPE's membership includes more than 70,000 student members. Efforts initiated in 1982 with the ONGC Top Management Support First Section at Ahmedabad, SPE India Section established in 1986, followed by North India and Mumbai Section. New Delhi Section established after almost 15 years on March 13, 2005. Beginning of accelerated growth of SPE in India. India 1986, North India 1989, Mumbai 1990, New Delhi 2005. 3 more sections at Chennai, Northeast India in Assam and Bangalore, established in quick succession. Chennai 2006, Northeast 2007, Bangalore 2007. SPE New Delhi Section born. Brief about section. Section was started on March 13th, 2005. Today the section has nearly 200 members. Has been organizing regular meeting. Section has been awarded SPE President's Award for Section Excellence for 2 consecutive years. 2005 to 2006 and 2006 to 2007. First year journey. Value for all. Firmed up annual meeting calendar, 9 meetings, 11 speakers and 6 sponsors. Newsletters. Website www.newdelhi.spe.org. established contacts with the academia and supported setting up a student chapter at IIT Delhi. Stepping stones. Kick-off meeting, December 13, 2004. Establishment of SPE New Delhi section, March 13, 2005. First formal meeting, April 2005. Website hosting, May, June 2005. First section newsletter, August 2005. Student chapter established at IIT Delhi, April 2006. Family get-together, May 2006. We win President's Award for Section Excellence. SPE New Delhi Newsletters. Section Leadership. Chairperson, M.K. Mitra, A.K. Hazarika, N.M. Bora, D.K. Pandey, S. Roy Chaudhary, B.N. Talukdar, Shashi Shankar, V.P. Mahavar, S.K. Moitra, Rahul Bali. Secretary, Rahul Bali, Ramendra Sinha, Ajay Dashore, Satindra Mohan, Sukhwinder Singh Soni, Rajesh Kumar, Deepak Swarup Bhatnagar, Sukhwinder Singh Soni. Awards and recognition. International awards. 2007 SPE President's Award for Section Excellence. 2011 SPE International Distinguished Member Award. 2010 SPE International Distinguished Service Award.
So 2005 to 2021. In fact, our anniversary has been delayed because of COVID. So we are still into our 15 years. And I would like to share with you that we have supported 3 student chapters in India. Pandit Deen Dayal Petroleum University, which is now Pandit Deen Dayal Energy University in Gandhinagar, RGPIT in Raebareli, and Aligarh Muslim University. So I would like the dignitaries on the dais to kindly release our 15th anniversary issue. May I request Sheena Shamina, who is the only lady officer in our section, and she looks after student chapters. Sheena works with Shlambaje. May I know whether Mr. Kamal Benasur and Mr. Peter, are they online with Zoom meeting?
Yeah, I'm connected.
Hi, Kamal. We welcome you on behalf of SP New Delhi, Kamal. I'm sorry that there is a little bit of change in program. Our chief guest, Mr. Tarun Kapoor, Secretary, Petroleum, Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, has to leave. So I think you'll have to speak after him. And you may understand that he has some urgency and he has to leave. Is that okay with you, Kamal?
Absolutely, by all means.
Okay. And is Peter also there? Peter Zaninsky from International Energy Agency. Okay, may I now request Colonel Sodhi, to introduce our chief guest, and he would be speaking briefly on energy transition. Oh, Peter is there. So just a minute. I would like to share that International Energy Agency, with its headquarters in Paris, we had contacted their director, Mr. Tim Gold, and Peter Zawinski is responsible for India Energy Outlook. It just dawned on us that a report on Indian Energy Outlook has just been released on February 9th. And we wanted to have a meeting directly with the speakers from International Energy Agency. But because of the paucity of time, we could not get them now, and we are planning a meeting in April. So, sir, with your permission, just Peter would like to make an announcement about this meeting. And Peter Zawinski is an energy analyst in the Directorate of Sustainability, Technology, and Outlooks of the International Energy Agency, IEA. He works on energy supply modeling and analysis, particularly natural gas and low carbon gases, within the World Energy Outlook team, which produces the IEA's authoritative analysis of long-term global energy trends and challenges. Peter is a lead author of India Energy Outlook, which was released on 9th February 2021. So over to you, Peter.
Thank you very much. And I hope everyone can hear me. The signal is not so great on my side. But President Ben Nasur, Secretary Kapoor, Mr. Bali, and Mr. Singh Sodhi, SPE members, many thanks for giving me the opportunity to make this short announcement. It is with great pleasure that I'm able to announce the recent publication of the IEA's Energy Outlook for India. This report explores the possible pathways for India's energy sector over the next 20 years. It contains scenario projections covering India's energy supply, demand, investment, and trade, and considers issues such as emissions, air quality, and access goals. I'd like to briefly share with you some key findings from the report. Over the next 20 years, we project that India will be the world's largest source of growth in energy demand worldwide. By 2040, India will add nearly 300 million people to its urban population. This underpins a more than doubling in steel and cement demand. It means a global industrial pivot from China to India, and India will also lead global growth in oil consumption of nearly 4 million barrels per day, due mainly to a massive increase in transport demand. And India will also be among the fastest growing markets for natural gas. A key challenge facing India, like other emerging economies, is the need to deliver sustainable, affordable, and reliable energy. In our scenarios, India becomes a leader in clean energy technologies, especially solar PV, and the market grows over 40 billion per year for clean technologies. The oil and gas industry can play a constructive role in this transition by providing capital expertise and technological innovations which can unlock the wide-scale uptake of low-carbon gases and liquids. I invite you to consult the report on the IEA website and look forward to having more detailed discussions about these key findings with SPE. Thank you very much for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Peter. It was nice of you that you could join us in virtual platform. And we are pleased to announce that we are planning a meeting with Peter and others from industry. We would also like you to participate in that meeting. It's a very wonderful report that has come. And now it is over to my program chairperson, Mr. Sukhwinder Singh Sodhi.
Thank you, Mr. Bali. I have the privilege of introducing the chief guest of the today's evening. So we welcome you and we are humbled with your presence here today. And the chief guest of the today evening, Shri Tarun Kapoor ji, Secretary MOPNG to the Government of India in Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. He is a member of Indian Administrative Service with over 33 years experience at the state and national level. Before taking over as Secretary MOPNG, Shri Kapoor was posted as Vice Chairman DDA. He has worked as Additional Chief Secretary in Government of Himachal Pradesh, looking after various departments from time to time like Power, Environment and Forests, Food and Civil Supplies, Excise, PWD, etc. He has also worked as Joint Secretary in the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, looking after National Solar Mission for 5 years. He also worked in Satluj Jal Vidyut Nigam Limited, a CPSE in the area of hydropower. I take the privilege of inviting Shri Tarun Kapoor ji to speak on energy transition. Thank you.
Chairman SPE, Mr. Bali, dignitaries on the dais, and all the members of SPE. It's nice to see a good gathering of all the experts from the sector, private sector and government all together. And congratulations on completing 15 years of the Delhi section. It was very heartening and good to hear that the SPE has been in the world for so many years, and the Delhi chapter has also completed 15 years, and there are more sections in the country, and you also have a students chapter, or rather you supported more than one universities. So which means that the organization is bringing together professionals and also helping you connect with the international community. It's very important for professionals to connect with each other. It's also very important to learn from each other and to connect internationally. Technology has no country boundaries, and learning also has no country boundaries. And therefore, when professionals meet and professionals respect each other, professionals acknowledge each other, and try to work together. Like when you learn from each other or when you interact with each other, you're generally learning, transferring information, and you're not, and in such forums you're not even bothering about who's benefiting or who's making money and who's not making money. You're all sharing information. So that's a very excellent gesture. So I congratulate all of you. I would have liked to stay here and listen to all the good deliberations for maybe full session, but somehow today is turning out to be a very heavy day. I've finished I don't know how many meetings and recordings and whatnot, and I have to go to another some event also. So, but nevertheless, I'm very happy to be amongst all of you. So, I've been asked to talk about energy transition. I can't talk to you about petroleum. You people know much more. I can talk to you about energy. I've worked in this sector for a long time. So generally about energy, maybe I can talk to you about. And first statement which I'd like to make is that as the world progresses and as there is more and more realization about the importance of environment, importance of the good life, which is the ultimate aim is to give good life to citizens. The barriers between various forms of energy would vanish. The barriers between various companies catering to just a very known source of energy would also vanish. So energy companies who classify themselves as hydrocarbon based or fossil fuel based and renewable based or electricity based, now those differences would also gradually vanish, and energy is energy. Now technologies are there where consumer can himself generate energy, or consumer may gradually try to become even independent of the large supply chains. That can also happen in the future. But the point to be noted is that the consumer is becoming conscious about the environment. The consumer is also becoming conscious about the options he has. So therefore, you can't force any form of energy on a consumer. He has to be given choice. And this choice, as we move along, would be more readily and easily available. So therefore, anyone who's in the field of energy must learn about all forms of energy. And then even companies must get into all forms of energy and then become energy suppliers, just energy suppliers. That transition is going to happen. So therefore, creating differences is something which is not warranted. So energy is needed for domestic use, it's needed for transport, it's needed for industry, it's needed for heating, and for agriculture. So these would be the major uses of energy. And as we move from in the world scenario where roughly say 35% energy, primary energy is coming from oil, about 23-24% is coming from natural gas, and around little more than 30% from coal, and rest from renewable and a little bit from nuclear. In India, the scenario is different, where still more than 50% is coming from coal, and oil is a major contributor, but natural gas is just 6.3%. And renewable energy, in terms of installed capacity, we've gone to some maybe 16-17%, but in terms of energy, we are still at around 8% or even less than that. If we take large hydro, then the percentage becomes a little higher, but renewable energy, in terms of energy, has grown. When I was in MNRE, it used to be around 6 to 7%. Now it has grown by say 2 to 3%, and it'll grow fast. So that shift will happen, but for a very substantial change to take place in the country, it will still take a long time, because the change at the user end also has to happen. That the change for example, if we have to bring about a change on the other side, say transport, then the vehicles have to change, and we've seen that the penetration of electric vehicles has been slow all over the world, even in Scandinavian countries, where people say that there is a big change. If you go there, you don't see that kind of change. So that change to EV is also going to take some time, but the change is happening. It's not that it's not happening. It is happening, and but it will accelerate. So that path is going to be, it's going to look like it's slow, but when it accelerates, then things might happen faster. So in India, while we follow the world trends, which means that more and more of renewable energy is going to come in, and renewable energy is going to come in faster in the grid. That probably would be the first, and then renewable energy can come in very fast in agriculture, because in India, in the grid, 22 to 25% of the electricity goes in the agriculture sector. It's electric motors. Still, very large number of diesel-based pumps are also there in the agriculture sector in India. So, in the agriculture sector, solar can accelerate transition, and directly you could see that transition happening. But what I see is that in the grid, the transition would be the fastest, which means that the first change which would happen is not going to happen in oil and gas. It's going to happen in coal. So because right now the generation of power in India is largely dependent on coal. So that's where the first change is going to happen. In transport, it would be slower. And the other area where petrol or diesel is used is in the industry, and then LPG and piped natural gas in households, mainly in cooking. So in cooking also, I don't see transition happening very soon, because when the transition does happen in cooking, it will happen. What will be the transition? The transition would be that electric stove would get used more and more. Maybe induction heaters, or maybe whatever forms of cooking. Indian cooking is in any case not oven based, so it's more based on normal stove, and high temperatures are required. So therefore, this LPG or then transition to natural gas is what is going to happen. So in transport and in cooking, what I see is that the transition to renewables would be slower. The transition to renewables would be faster in the grid where electricity is generated. And the transition within hydrocarbons would obviously happen from petrol, diesel from diesel first to CNG, that because the government is pushing that. Government is pushing that, so that's bound to happen. And from, say, LPG to natural gas, piped natural gas, but there was a presentation, I was just into that. PPAC was just making a presentation. They've done a study on LPG, and very interesting presentation they were making. And the domestic, right now we are importing 53 or 54% of LPG also, and the imports have steadily gone up. So while we say that 85% of crude is imported, we never add this LPG also, which we are importing to such a large extent. And in that presentation it came out that these imports are also not going to go down, because the LPG consumption, even with renewables coming in and various things happening, and the piped natural gas penetration also increasing, the LPG demand is still not going to go down. They made projections for the next I think 20 years, and it appears that LPG demand is not going down. In fact, the domestic LPG production, according to their projection, is peaking in 24, and then again it is going down slightly, because maybe the refineries might start producing a little more of petrochemicals, and it might hit LPG. So therefore, one could say that in India, the transition which is going to happen is diesel would go down definitely, and CNG would go up. That's very definite. We target 15% primary energy to come from natural gas. That I think will happen, because natural gas is easier to handle, and domestic production would also go up. So within the hydrocarbons, this transition is very visible. And on the renewable side, the first transition would be that coal-based power generation in the grid would go down, and the renewable penetration into the grid would go up. How much time that would take, I think in the next 10 years there would be a very major change as far as the grid is concerned. So, but in the motor vehicle side, the penetration is going to be slow. In 10 years, we may see some penetration. Even if we go to 10%, I think that will be a big achievement. But then after that, then it will be fast. Then EV would come in much faster. But then the energy companies in this field have a very good network and have presence all over the world. So therefore, the networks and the facilities which are available can be used for all forms of energy. That's the kind of transition the fossil fuel energy companies have to make. And if that happens, then the transition would be healthier. The transition would not generate bitterness, or would not bring surprises, because something which is going to happen is going to happen, and investments are required, and companies which are already in the energy sector are best placed not only to make investments but also to use the infrastructure which is already available with the organizations which are into this sector. Then also biofuels, some transition would happen towards biofuels. We are aiming big transition as far as India is concerned. So therefore, while diesel would reduce because of CNG, petrol would reduce because of ethanol. So these two things are bound to happen. So I will stop here. My good wishes to all of you, and hope you have good discussions. Again, I repeat, it is good to be amongst professionals, and I would have loved to stay here and listen to all of you rather than just you listening to me. listening to a person who doesn't even know 10% of what you all know, but then still you have to listen to me and I can't listen to you, so that's a tragedy. In any case, my good wishes to all of you. Thank you.
Mr. Kapoor is very humble in saying that he's not a professional, but he has been at the helm of affairs where great decisions has been taken by him, and not many people know that he has been in MNRE and also on the board of another hydro company. And you know, when he was in MNRE, there was a conference, and the anchor told that he is the man behind solar in India. That was about solar mission. So big clap of him. And you know, the energy companies are also moving from crude and gas towards the cleaner things. They are acquiring infrastructure for EV charging, and some companies are moving to solar. And there is a challenge, and the time is now. As they say, that if you don't have the seat at the table, you may end up becoming part of the meal. So this is high time our industry thinks about it, and we don't become archaic companies. And with these words, I thank you, Mr. Kapoor, again for your time. And he has to leave. May I request Mr. Mahavar and Mr. H.V.S. Ahuja to present a token of gratitude, a memento to Mr. Tarun Kapoor. We would have loved, sir, if you had stayed, because our next speaker is Mr. Kamal Ben Nasur. Thank you so much. I request Mr. Bhatnagar to escort, sir. And I hope Kapoor sir will excuse me to carry on the program. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much. Sir. Friends, I'm really sorry that we had to run the program in this way, because there was some urgent commitment on the part of Mr. Kapoor, and he had to leave in between. So we'll just wait for a few seconds till the people on dais come back. And could you please play a slide of section officers, current section officers on the screen, so that I can introduce our section officers to the House? And I would like to share that today we have two of our past chairs in person here, Mr. S. Rai Chaudhary and Mr. V.P. Mahavar. And we have, I think, 3 or 4 past chairs who have joined us on the virtual platform. I think Mr. Ajit Hazarika is there. Then T.K. Sengupta Sahab has also joined, who was Regional Director of SPE. I think he is also there.
I'm very happy to know that Delhi SP chapter has completed 15 years of existence successfully, and today is celebrating 15th anniversary. I have been invited to attend this workshop physically, but due to having some problem, I am unable to attend this function physically. But I will be definitely watching this event through the video link being provided. I remember my days as a chairman of this chapter in 2006, where I had a very vibrant group, and we also organized many such technical talks for the benefit of E&P industry of this country. At this moment, I take this opportunity to congratulate Rahul Bali and his team for successfully organizing this event and wish all the best for success of the event. Thank you very much.
Well, that was Mr. Ajit Kumar Hazarika, who was our past chair. He took over from the founder chair, Mr. N.K. Mitra. And during his time, we had, brilliant meetings, brilliant get-together, family get-togethers, and we also got industry leaders who were, beyond E&P. So now
Thank you, Rahul.
Mr. Singh.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Compliment. Thank you. And at the same time, that time also this our chapter got the presidential award, no?
Yeah, during Mr. Hazarika's time, we won SP 2007 President's Award. So we are thankful to you, sir, and we all need your blessings, as always. Okay. Thank you so much that you are here with us.
Yeah, I'm listening from beginning. I have to wait for nearly one hour. From 7 o'clock to, I think you started 8 o'clock. But anyway, this happens. So
Can
all
you
the
put in
best
the video,
for
please, for Mr.
program.
Hazarika? Thank you.
I'm available. I'm listening. Go ahead. Thank you.
Okay.
But put my video off.
Achha. So nice of you, sir. And because of pandemic, many people could not join, and so was the case with Mr. Hazarika.
Yeah,
and very soon, sir, we'll have you in person with us, all the past section chairs, and we'll honor all of you, sir.
Okay, good. Sometime we'll meet. Thank you.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much. And may I now invite Mr. Kamal Benassour, SP 2022 President, who is our guest of honor today. Can we have a video of Kamal, please?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't see you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. So, friends, Kamal Benassour is the CEO of Nomadia Energy Consulting, where he advises on sustainable energy policies and global regional energy economics and outlooks. He has worked as chief economist for a major oil and gas company and oil field services company. Benassour has also worked as a director of the International Energy Agency and as an energy minister for the Tunisian government. He has chaired several SPE global committees, including business management and leadership, the International Forum Series, and CO2 capture and storage. He has also taught several SPE courses on global energy and strategic thinking and planning. He was technical director for management and information on the SPE International Board of Directors from 2008 till 2011. Benassour was also an SPE Distinguished Lecturer from 2009 till 2010, and he received an SPE Distinguished Member Award and SPE Distinguished Service Award in 2014. He has co-authored over 120 publications and 17 books. Benassour holds a bachelor's degree from the Paris University and a master's degree from École Polytechnique in Paris. It's an honor for us that we could have him today during the 15th anniversary celebration of New Delhi section. Over to you, Kamal. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much for the kind introduction. Mr. Tarun Kapoor, Secretary Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Mr. Rahul Bali, Chair of SPE New Delhi section, founders of the SPE New Delhi section, past chairs of the SPE New Delhi section, section officers. It's a great pleasure and an honor to be with you today. I wish I could have been with you, but we all know the circumstances. I'm going to put a few slides on, and I hope they can come through Can you see my slide? Yeah. So I wanted to talk a little bit about SPE beyond the COVID-19 pandemic. It has been a very tough year for all of us, but I won't do it before congratulating the SPE New Delhi section. Many great accomplishments have been made by the section, and you really have set up a very high standard by winning Presidential Award for Section Excellence only 1 and 2 years after your creation. I don't think that no other section has been able to do it. Other great accomplishments have been mentioned, like international and regional awards, the sponsored chapters from great universities, and the chapter awards. I want also to add to the comments of His Excellency Mr. Kapoor and the colleague from the IEA about the India energy sector being the third largest energy consuming economy today, and extraordinary successes for India's energy sector. Over the last few years, access to electricity for an additional several hundred millions of people have been granted. Energy efficiency has made also big progress with deployment of LEDs and others, and deployment of renewable solar and wind, and Mr. Kapoor played a major role there. And rephrasing some of the outcome of India's energy outlook, it will keep it at the heart of the global energy system in terms of size and dynamism of the economy. It will see the largest increase in energy demand in the world by 2040 due to increased urbanization and shift from service industry to energy intensive ones. Last year has been a very tough year, and I would say this has been the toughest year for several decades for the oil and gas industry. We have seen the oil demand shrink by more than 8%, between 8 and 9% last year. Brent prices have gone into a yo-yo mode, and we have seen for the first time in history WTI prices going negative. Rig count has plunged around the world, and we have seen the impact across many of the economic sectors, with airports being shut down, road traffic going to a standstill. Throughout the COVID pandemic, SPE has seen the toughest year for its income, as many of the key events like OTC, offshore Europe, the ATC, IPTC, and other events have not happened. And what the SPE has been able to do is a major move to virtual events with a great number of webinars, SPE Live, virtual distinguished lectures. We continue to focus on our strategic plan with lifelong learning, and then we focus on digital energy and collaborate with other organizations. We have split the M&I technical discipline, and then we are also working on the second pillar of our strategic plan, which is a new platform for One Petro and the digital journal Petroleum Technology as part of the knowledge transfer strategy, and then more and more SPE content available by video. Membership, we are still focusing, despite the circumstances, to broaden the membership base, but also at the same time, due to the difficult times, support our members in transition. And then last but not least, professional pride, where we are showcasing the industry contribution to sustainable development and the value of the oil and gas industry. If we look at going to the future, And this is a report that was published a few days ago by the International Energy Forum, showing the outlook for energy demand from different organizations, the International Energy Agency, the OPEC, and what we see is that in the NDC scenarios, essentially the oil and gas remain a key part of the energy mix. Even in the sustainable development scenario, the natural gas remain a significant part. And so our industry is here to have a very strong role in all major plausible scenarios for energy supply and demand. If we want to achieve the very ambitious goals of the Paris Agreement, we need to decarbonize the energy sector. And in terms of wedges of decarbonization, the biggest one will be energy efficiency and other technologies like CO2 capture and storage, hydrogen, and geothermal, along with renewables. So for CO2 capture and storage, hydrogen, and geothermal, the skills of our SPE members will be very much in demand, and the size of these new parts of the energy industry could be comparable to the size of the oil and gas industry by 2050, 2060. We may ask ourselves whether the cycle where we have seen a 30% drop in the activity and many of our colleagues unfortunately losing their jobs in the industry, it has been a very, very tough year. There's still major uncertainties on the end of the COVID-19 pandemic, and we certainly applaud the contribution of India in terms of being able to produce vaccines for the pandemic in very large numbers. We are seeing activity recovering in industrial sectors, but transport, especially the airlines, remain in a difficult situation. With the cohesion of OPEC and OPEC Plus, Brent prices have firmed up north of 60. We went up to $64 this week. And then the last piece, which is the oil and gas activity in 2021, based on surveys of major and independent companies, is expected to rise by about between 8 and 10% on a global scale. And if we look at the region where India is, there was a drop between India and Asia Pacific by 10% in 2020, but we should be back to the 2019 level in 2021. Middle East, which has dropped by about 18% in 2019, and this is an important region for the India, will be about flat, but then 2022 should be going back up thanks to the firming up of oil prices. So I wanted to finish on some remarks about the oil and gas sustainability model. The past oil and gas industry image was mixed with people remembering some of the bad things that have happened in terms of spills and other problems like the Deepwater Horizon, but not remembering that the essential part of the oil and gas industry in terms of economic development. Over the last few years, the SPE has been focusing on promoting all the good things that the industry is doing in terms of technology, in terms of international policy and governance, economic impact, health and safety, environmental protection, and social development. Not many people know that in the extraordinary rover mission that went into March, we are using some of the technologies that have been developed by the oil and gas industry to analyze samples. so we can understand the past history of March using our technologies. And then going to the future will see an increased mix from renewables, but we see as the renewables not competing with oil and gas, but is working together to serve efficiently the world development. And if we look at some of the initiatives that I wanted to highlight in the sustainability model of the SPE, the Gaia Sustainability Program, which has just been launched by the SPE, is a collaborative program, and every region and every section is invited to participate in this very important initiative. And it's actually creating actions from all types to address the planet's sustainability challenges. And I'm sure you'll be hearing more over the next coming weeks about the Gaia Sustainability Program. Last year, we have launched the Diversity and Inclusion Community, which is to make sure that the oil and gas industry and our society uses all the skills from gender diversity and also ethnical diversity that could help advance our industry. And I wanted to highlight one initiative that has been going on for the last few years is the Business Management and Leadership Committee, which complements very nicely the technical development programs of the SPE by providing to our members the soft skills and the business management and leadership skills that are required to move up in the corporate ladder, but also to navigate through tough circumstances and instill the spirit of resilience to go through those cycles in the oil and gas industry. So I wanted to finish by thanking you, members, committees, chairs, for very valuable contribution over the last 15 years to the petroleum industry and the Society of Petroleum Engineers. I want to thank you on behalf of the SPE for volunteering. I want to thank your companies and your universities for doing such a great work at supporting our mission, and I want to wish you many successes in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kamal, for a wonderful, informative presentation. And it was great of you to take out some time for us. And I'm really sorry for keeping you waiting for long, since our program started a bit late. Another thing is, sorry?
It's my pleasure.
Kamal, since you are not present in person here, I would like to make an announcement that we would be sending a memento to Kamal Benassour by courier. So a big hand for Mr. Benassour. Thank you. SPE has their flagship conference and exhibition named Annual Technical Conference and Exhibition. And this year it is scheduled to be held in UAE, I think Dubai. And it is then that Kamal will be formally taking over as SPE president. So currently he is president-elect. So hopefully we'll meet during 83, Kamal, and we all will be there. Most probably I'll request all our section officers, we'll try to hold our meeting at Dubai during the annual technical conference and exhibition. To all those industry leaders present here, it's my humble request that SPE is such a great platform. It has, not only petroleum engineers, it can be said that it is the society for professionals in energy. And we have professionals from everywhere, not only petroleum engineers, but all from finance, from material management, from business development, everywhere. So I hope that you will encourage your colleagues and employees to become SP members. Thank you, Kamal. And may I request our section sponsor of Envener Energy, Mr. Manish, to come on the dais, please. And I'm handing over to Mr. Sukhwinder Singh Sodhi for further proceedings. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bali. And
I'll take one more second. I think we have past chairs, Mr. S.K. Moitra with us. And also, video is not on. Past regional director for this region, Mr. Tapas Sen Gupta is also online. So could I request Mr. Sen Gupta to say a few words on our section anniversary, sir, if you are there?
Yeah, thank you, Rahul. I am there since 6:30. The moment I received, and it's my pleasure to get in the invitation from the most dynamic Delhi chapter. Unfortunately, due to some personal reasons, I could not be there in person, though I am at Delhi right now. Would it been next week, I could have there. But anyway, it's a great gathering today. I could see in those first 1 hour almost the back of most of my colleagues and friends sitting over there. Because most of them I know personally. They are great professionals in the industry. I would love to be with them. I congratulate all of you, all the past chairs, starting from Mr. Mitra, Mr. Hazarika, Mr. Boda, Mr. Mahabar, Mr. Shashi Shankar, Mr. Moitra, Mr. Roy Chaudhary, all the great leaders who have given a shape to this chapter, and the current office bearers who were there earlier also. I know Sodhi was there earlier, secretary, and now he's just changing this thing. So they are the pillar and the stalwart. Mr. Ahuja is there. Great achievement. I am extremely happy, and even in my 3-year stint as a regional director, a few of the chapters from India, they were discussed at the board level, international board level. You are one of them, and I congratulate you on this momentous occasion on the 15th anniversary. And I feel that you should, due to COVID, you could not do anything, nobody could do anything, including the big conferences could not be held. But once you have taken the courage, and I think you maybe, to my knowledge, because still I'm connected with the international SP programs, maybe a very few speech section who has taken the lead to host a program physical in India and in this region itself. Nowhere it is being done. So a great thumbs up to Rahul Bali and the entire team to have the courage and invite the great dignitaries here. We have just heard our friend Kamal. Kamal was also waiting almost from 6:40 or 6:45. So a great leader, we know about him. We'll be listening to the IA persons who is looking after India. And my best wishes to everybody, all the members. And I hope that in future days you will hold more technical meeting, not only by DL, but there are very good speakers in the professionals in our this area. So get hold of them, catch hold of them, do as much as possible. I will be there. This is my commitment. Thank you very much and wish you all the best.
Thank you, Mr. Sen Gupta, for your kind words and motivating speech. May I now request Mr. S.K. Moitra, who I think I can see on the screen. He is our immediate past chair. Mr. Moitra.
Good evening to all of you. Rahul Bali, Sri S.S. Sodhi, Sri V.P. Mahavar, Sri S.P.S. Ahuja, Sri T.K. Sen Gupta. I could see many directors of PSUs and private companies as well as senior officers. welcome to this 15th anniversary program. Grand applause, big applause for the team New Delhi section for making this 15th anniversary successful. And prior to the conference, even though there was some delay, but all of us were we were little waiting for 1 hour, which Mr. P.K. Sengupta also mentioned. But at the end of the day, the whole program, which is being conducted by two stalwarts of SP, I have been with these two guys, Mr. Rahul Bali as Sodi. I think you made this 15th anniversary successful. It is better to be late than to be never. And my congratulations to entire team and best wishes. And again, thank you for getting Secretary Petroleum and getting him introduced to SP chapter. Your courage, which I suggested, let us try hybrid, and you could make it happen. Thank you very much once again to you and your team. And again, compliments to the entire fraternity of oil and gas who has made this is the first event, I think, which is other than government event, some of the events which has been done where we have gone hybrid. Thank you very much. Keep the legacy continued and have more leadership in your Delhi board, and feel free to engage ourselves also for the development of SP New Delhi section. Thank you once again for giving the chance to me and have privilege to speak before the August gathering. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Mr. Moitra. He's beaming as always. And I would like to say, sir, good things come to those who wait. So I think something good has happened today, and you won't repent your waiting. So, so nice of you. Is there any others past year on the Zoom platform? Is there any other past year on the Zoom? Mr. N.M. Bora, Mr. Talukdar, anybody? Okay. Thank you so much. And it's over to Colonel S.S. Sodi. And I think Mr. Sodi should introduce all the section officers. Not everybody could be on the dais, so I think he has to introduce all the section officers to the House, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Bali. And before I introduce the host, it's very important that the industry supports such programs. And we are extremely thankful for the today's sponsors, Anvanir Energy. And Mr. Manish Maheshwari has taken a personal interest to support this program. Thank you very much. And I would like to request you to come on the dais. And I'll also like to request our Deepak Bhatnagar, the treasurer, and Shri Rai Chaudhary ji, who is the past chair and the senior most member, to present a memento to the sponsors. I request Saji to hand over me the memento. Please, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Manish ji. And all these programs happen with the support of the members and then the elected office bearers who hold the governing council, we call it. And I like to introduce all the governing board members here. So, Young Professionals Chairperson Nitin Lahkar. We have been very active in the student sections, and student chapter liaison Shamina Sheena. We have directors on the board, Dr. Keval Krishan. We have another director, Shri Ajay Dashore ji. The final director, Dr. Ashutosh Pasricha. And we have the treasurer who handles all the finances, without which the function does not happen, Shri Deepak Bhatnagar. The membership chair, Shri Chitavan Garg. Myself, the program chairperson, Sukhvinder. And we have chairperson, Mr. Rahul Bali. And we have mentor Shri Mahavarji. He's the past chair. Thank you very much. I'd like to request Dr. Ashutosh Pasricha to give vote of thanks.
Very good evening to all of you, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I must say, I must wish you all safe and healthy life ahead, because we are coming out of COVID-19. In the absence of Secretary Petroleum, Mr. Tarun Kapoor, we would like to thank him for accepting our invitation as chief guest. Thank you so much, sir, for your sparing your valuable time for this SP 15-year celebration. Thank you so much. Our special thanks to Mr. Kamal, who is elected 2022 President, SP President, for his time and attending the 15th anniversary virtually. Thank you so much, Mr. Kamal. We would like to thank Mr. Peter for sharing valuable information. Thank you so much. So we would like to thank Mr. VP Mahawar as a past section chair and ex-director onshore ONGC for his valuable suggestions for organizing this event. Thank you so much, sir. We would also like to thank Mr. SPS Ahuja, CEO ISPRL, for his kind support. Thank you so much, sir. I would like to thank all the EC members for their hard work to organize this event, this anniversary, this celebration, meeting, and special thanks to Mr. Rahul Bali, Section Chair, Mr. Sodi, Mr. Bhatnagar, for their untiring efforts to make it happen. Thank you so much. We would like to thank our industry leaders who have accepted our invitation and come here during COVID situation, because people are not accepting. Thank you so much, industry leaders, CEOs, all the dignitaries. Thank you so much for coming here. And our gratitude to you. And we would like to thank all the SP members and other staff. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your participation. And our special thanks for the evening and gratitude to Mr. Manish Maheshwari, CEO in One Hour Energy, for sponsoring this event. Thank you very much, Manish, for your kind support, and thank you so much. And last but not the least, we would like to thank our hotel staff and other people who are helping us, who are supporting us during this COVID situation. Thank you so much. And let's celebrate this evening with a glass of wine. Thank you all. Have a nice and very good evening. Thank you so much. Let's join in the cake cutting ceremony. Please, all of you are welcome.
So looking at the COVID scenario, we will be restricting people on the dais. On earlier occasions, we used to invite everybody on the stage. So I think you will maintain safe distance, and we can call Rai Chaudhary Sahab. Mr. Manish, could you join us, please? And our section officers can also come. We'll have a group photograph. All the section officers may join us. We'll have a group photograph. डॉक्टर साहब ने देख लिया, या तो अकेला प्रेम में आएगा या चार आ जाएंगे। ये ना डॉक्टर साहब ने ये सोच लिया कि या तो ही बंदा बोल दो।
मैं सारा मतलब मैं बड़ी उससे हुई है कपड़े मतलब होते ही जाने से
यार फोटो ही नहीं ली तेरी यार, सारे सेक्शन ऑफिसर लिए जा रहे हैं पोस्ट बहुत है, ग्रुप फोटो भी तो होगी।
बहुत बहुत मुश्किल है इंडस्ट्री बहुत बढ़िया लगता है।
Well, friends, the bar is open, and please join us for some cocktails. Thank you.
बहुत बढ़िया है।
पूरा वो जो है अपनी वाइफ की तबीयत बड़ी खराब है। मेरी बात सुनो, वो तो तुम्हारी फोटोग्राफी कहाँ हो रही है? आप कटे में करेगा The drinks counter is open. Please join us for cocktails. Please.
I'll request members to join for drinks and help yourself for the cake also. The drink counter is open.
मेरा आपका वीडियो इंटरव्यू है.
Hi, good evening everybody. I am very happy to know that Delhi SP chapter has completed 15 years of existence.
Everybody.